Welcome to a video from thedigitallifestyle.com. In this video we're going to look at this Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Tablet. This is a very nice device that I've been loaned by Microsoft to have a play around with. So this is Lenovo's take on the two-in-ones like the Surface Pro range, like Surface Pro 4, something like that. It's a convertible tablet. You can see here it's got the magnetic keyboard, very much like the Surface has. So you've got the clip-on like that, and it folds up just like the Surface. It's got a kickstand that goes from the top rather than from the bottom, or should I say it goes from the bottom rather than from the middle like the Surface range does. And it supports pen as well. Right, let me start at the beginning then. So it's a convertible, so let's look at it as a tablet first. Two-in-one really, not a convertible. Of course Windows 10 supports the tablet mode, so let's stick it into tablet mode. So as a tablet, it supports auto rotation, all the usual stuff you want. It's quite light, it's about the same weight as Surface Pro 3, Surface Pro 4. I'll include the full specs on the blog post on thedigitallifestyle.com that goes with the video as well. But use it as a tablet, really nice. It's got nice smooth curved edges, it feels nice and smooth. In terms of port, we've got Kensington lock, we've got volume, headphone. I'll just take this pen out for now and I'll show you what that is in a sec. We've got USB 3, USB-C, which is the charger is USB-C, and display port as well. So it's silent, so I can't hear anything on there. It's lovely and quiet. It's not getting too hot. We'll talk about performance in a bit, but as a tablet it works really well, just as you'd expect a Windows tablet to work. So it feels very much like the Surface Pro range. I have a Surface Pro 3 and it does feel very much like that. It's got a few things that the Surface Pro, or certainly my Surface Pro, doesn't have. One of the things here on the back, if I flip this down, first of all, notice this little red dot there. That's quite a nice little dot on the eye. That's when it's powered on. Right, we've got a SIM card slot here, as well as a micro SD card. So it's a nano slim SIM on there. So that means you can plug a SIM card in and use it, use data when you're traveling. So if you can get a sort of a data-only SIM card, put that in there when you're out and about. You can use that, and it can switch between Wi-Fi and the 3G, 4G connectivity. So you've got a lot of connectivity options with that, and I think that is one of the really nice things with this. So as a tablet, it's really a very nice tablet. It's got a nice design. Then of course you've got the keyboard. Let me flick that in. It clips up just like the Surface Pro does, but that combination of this angle means that, for one, it doesn't move, or it doesn't push back. You can push right the way back on this. It takes a lot to get it to clip back down again. So on your lap it actually balances quite well because you've got the weight of that. So it's pretty good for that sort of lap usage. And then you've got this nice keyboard. There's some travel on the keyboard. It's actually quite a nice keyboard. Keyboard travel is not too much. It feels nice and solid. There's a bit of movement with it, but I would say it's probably about the same as my Surface Pro 3 in terms of typing speed. I think you could type reasonably quick on this. So there's a nice big trackpad that supports two-finger scrolling, things like that. There's also a mouse pointer if you like those kind of things. You can use that. I used to have those on laptops years ago and got used to them, and then now I've got used to a trackpad. So personally I prefer a trackpad, but with this you've got the option of the trackpad and the 3-button mouse and the pointer as well. Right, spec-wise, it's a Core M7 processor with which gives it plenty of grunt. It's got 8GB of RAM and a 256GB SSD drive on there. So this thing is nice and fast and smooth. flipping between tasks is really easy, really fast. There's plenty of performance. You'd have no problems editing videos on here, doing PowerPoint, presenting office stuff, or doing photo editing, that Photoshop kind of stuff. So plenty of power in the device for that, which is really good. So it's a really good performing machine for that. It doesn't get too hot even while playing stuff like Minecraft. I often use Minecraft, it's gone dark, as a good example. It makes the device very hot depending on on certain devices, because it's using the graphics. So here's it running Minecraft. I like to use Minecraft as an example because it does push the machine to get hot. Some of the other devices I've been using, and it's actually, believe it or not, one of the many things people ask me about. And it's nice and easy to install from the Windows Store as well. But it works really well on there, no problems at all. So you'll have no problems doing like basic games like this. Like I said, you'll also be able to do PowerPoint, Office. You can install, you can open big Excel files on there. The 8 gig of memory should be plenty of performance. But you'll also be able to do things like video editing, photo editing, Photoshop, that kind of thing as well. Now, as well as these input methods, it also comes with an active pen, and there's a couple of little different holders for the pen actually, and this one that I showed you at the start of the video actually plugs into the USB port when it's unused, so you can plug the pen in like that. Obviously the best way to use it with the pen is use it as a tablet. Of course you can use it like that. Let me disconnect the keyboard, put it into tablet mode, we'll have that, yes, and let's quit this. So in tablet mode you can use it as a pointer, navigating around windows, but of course you can actually use it with the pen to actually draw ink as well, and with Word as well, so we'll check that. One thing I did notice on the pen, let's just create a new page. One thing I did notice, there you go, so you can see I can write on there, and it supports 2048 levels of pressure sensitivity, so you get some very fine drawing on there. Not that I'm a good drawer with the pen, but you could do if you wanted to. And there's no eraser, that's the only thing that's missing I think on here. There's no eraser with the pen, although you have got 2 buttons and you can configure those. This is currently running the standard version of Windows 10. When the anniversary edition comes out, probably July this year, 2016, there's going to be something called Windows Ink, which is a new set of apps designed for the pen. There's a new drawing option, there's new notepad or sticky notes and things like that that are interactive, and this pen will come in very handy with that. So just like the Surface, you've got the pen. I do like taking notes on a Surface with the pen. Now I should mention the screen as well while looking at that. This one's at 2160 by 1440. Very nice clear screen. Let me load something up and we can talk about that. So the screen is extremely clear and bright, really vivid colour reproductions. You probably can't really tell from a YouTube video, but that is a really nice screen. It's high res, so you can see a lot on the screen at once, but I think it's its sharpness that I really like on that. So this is one thing I really like about the screen. Very sharp, very clear with a good colour reproduction, as you can see from there. So that's a definite plus on this device. In terms of battery life, I've been finding that I've been getting about 5 hours. This is showing 52%, 2 hours 47, so it's about that 5 hour mark. It really does depend on what you're using with it running and what brightness levels you're running. We're running at 60% there. When you play Minecraft, something like that, doing photo editing, it drops down to about 4 hours, something. It really does depend on your load, but I found that the battery life is better than my Surface Pro 3, about the same as the Surface Pro 4, so pretty impressive for that. To look at the price, it is a higher end device. There's various prices depending on the configurations. This configuration is about 1200 quid. It comes with Windows 10 Pro as well. The 4G connectivity adds some cost, so that's probably why. I say it's got the really nice screen, it's got the pen input, of course you've got the keyboard as well. I believe there are other accessories available like a dock and keyboard, USB ports, that kind of thing. The basic device itself is limited to the single USB 3-port. You could plug a hub into that, I guess, as well. And the charger, I should say, is a 45-watt USB-C adapter as well. But after my short time with this device, I'd say it's a very nice, very business-like device. It really is very comparable to the Surface Pro 4, maybe even the Surface Book, because the keyboard feels a bit more substantial. The Surface Book is more of a laptop, I guess, but I very much like this. I've tried some other tablets, and this, perhaps from the Surface Pro 4, is the best one I've used. The Dell XPS is a sort of XPS 15, which is similar, but that again is more of a laptop than a convertible. This is a true tablet like the Surface Pro range, and this unique design I think works really well. It's quite, what they would say, lappable, and with the pen as well, it's a good business device. You could give this to someone to use for business. You can have Windows tablet apps, full desktop on here, so you can install Chrome, iTunes, anything you want, and it's got the power and the performance through the fast SSD drive really to do a lot, and to be your one and only device. So it is a proper 2-in-1 convertible, or so it's a proper 2-in-1 tablet and laptop. You wouldn't need another device if you're using this. So it's a premium device, premium prices, but a very nice device. You can read more information on this on our blog post that goes with it on thedigital.com, and it's a very nice device. Oh, I should mention as well, whether this is because it's come from Microsoft, but there's very little extra software installed on here. That is an issue with some, even from Lenovo and people like that. So we've got the Wacom pen tools are on there, and we've got the 4G connectivity options and some Lenovo updating software, and that really is it. So it makes it a nice clean experience as well. I think the 4G connectivity is great as well, being able to just not have to pair it up with your phone or anything, which is what I would normally do to do data when I'm out and about. So thanks for watching this video. More videos on our YouTube channel.